Hi everybody, welcome to video number 37. Now today we're talking about self-belief and why having it is easier said than done. Now what do I mean by that? So let's look at this. Self-belief isn't something that, is given to every single one of us. Self-belief is something that we build along the way, right? And yet sometimes not having it can prove to be a massive obstacle in life that can affect so many different areas. So let's touch on a few of those areas it can affect. Let's talk about job and career first of all. Do you know, there's so many people that I meet with that say to me, I'd love to get that role. I'd love to work, climbing that corporate ladder, or I'd love to start my own business. I just don't have the confidence to do it. Is that confidence or is that self-belief? Sometimes we've been set back in our career because there may have been opportunities that you were hoping for that you may have been overlooked, and somebody else has got that opportunity, and that can cause your self-belief to go back down again. Sometimes we have to rise above things, right? And so that's the first thing, and that's about the career and your job, right? Second thing is about love. How many of us watching this video have gone, I've lost all belief in love? That's not because you don't believe in loving or being loved in return. A lot of this stems from past hurts. And so what happens is that many relationships you've been in that may have actually had an attempt to destroy who you are, that can take away your self-belief, so much so that when you look in the mirror, you actually go, I don't know who I am anymore. Do I believe that I'm lovable? Can I be loved? Well, yes, you can. And so that's why I'm bringing it up as a big thing when it comes to relationships, because we have to believe that we're lovable. We have to learn to love ourselves, and we've got to believe in ourselves enough to be loved again. Now, the last thing is us and people, right? As people. So let's look at confidence versus arrogance. Some people say, yeah, but I don't have the confidence and I don't want to be perceived as arrogant. Well, remember this. Lions don't need to roar. And I've learned this along the way. Sometimes the hard way, but I've still learned it. And it's a valuable lesson that I take with me going forward. What do I mean by that? Everybody knows that the lion is the king of the jungle, right? And so just by their presence alone, we know that they are the king of the jungle. And so your presence, when you build up the confidence, it shows in your presence in what you do. And if you can find that cheerleader behind you, that mentor, or that somebody to give you wings, go find them and cherish them. My mum has been my biggest cheerleader all my career. And trust me, no matter what position I had over the years, I would call and I would have a wobble. I'd say, oh, I've taken on this new role, not quite sure where I'm going to go with it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it. And my mum used to say to me always, you've got this. And she would remind me that I would have this same conversation with her no matter what role I took on. And she always said to me, in a couple of weeks' time, Mum, you'll be calling me and saying, Mum, I've nailed it. And you know what? That's exactly what used to happen. But she had belief in me, and she gave me the ability to have belief in myself as well. So if you can find that somebody, nurture them. But there's a little something that you can do. You can go onto www.criswick.co.uk and go into the happiness section. I've got a 4-leaf clover here that says you've got this on there. You can pop that in your pocket. I know it might be psychological, but knowing that you've got that safety net surrounding you, if you have that self-belief, build it, work with it, because it will take you to places that you've only ever dreamed of going. But I hope you've all found this helpful. I hope you've all enjoyed, and please share, and I'll see you all on the next one.